All right. Hello, hello. So you have the doctors in Super Patch here. My name is Dr. Nicole Bramwell. I'm a medical doctor and I'm a neuropatch specialist, wellness specialist. I'm also a certified naturopathic um, practitioner. And I have my friend here, my colleague, my partner, Dr. Tamara Dunn, who is also a doctor and a neuropatch specialist with me in Super Patch. And we are excited about talking to you about women's health this month. So it's such a big, big topic. So we don't know how much we're going to get through today, but we are going to cover as much as possible in what goes on. You all know, but one of the topics that we really are passionate about is mental fog.
Mhm.
We hear that a lot, and it became popular and very heard of during the pandemic, but I guarantee you that it existed for women way before the pandemic. Okay, so that is not new to women. It may be new to men, but it wasn't new to women, the mental fog. And so, Dr. Dunn, I know you mentioned to me, actually I didn't even realize that you actually have personal experience and feeling of that with mental fog. So maybe we start there,
Mhm.
and then we can go.
Yes. So mental fog, I think it comes from many different reasons. A lot of times people put it to age or put it to menopause. They put it to, whatever reason, just getting older. But I do think that those are important factors to consider. However, mental fog is different things. A lot of people think when they lose their place when they're speaking. For a long time, I thought I had a stuttering problem, but I don't have a stuttering problem. I'm talking, but then I lose what I'm trying to say problem. And it comes off as a stuttering problem, but that's not really what's happening. Like the mental fog can be when you just lose your train of thought. Like you're talking, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, what did I want to say next? And you have to kind of think about it. But it could be in memory, forgetting things. It can be just not thinking clearly. It could be so many different things in mental fog. And it's pretty much just coming to where do I feel this is coming from. I do think it's a perimenopause, menopausal situation, even though it probably didn't start till mid 30s or so. I kind of blamed it on the second child. Like you get the pregnant brain.
That's a real thing.
So that's a thing too, So I
Yes.
just thought it was, pregnant brain for a long time. And I'm like, this is not going away. It's got to be something else. Yeah. So I've been experiencing it for a while, not knowing what it was, just
Yes.
putting it on different things, but now realizing and reading the research of what's happening, like, oh, this is what mental fog is. And I hear so many people complain about it like all the time.
Absolutely. And I think that part of the thing is sometimes it encompasses so much like what you were saying that we don't know what words to put with it. So even then you think you actually feel like you have mental fog about your mental fog
Right.
because you're trying to put, because it is so vast, and it is because of many reasons. So yes, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, all of those encompass some of what happens with mental fog, women experiencing mental fog, but there are lots of other things, and even those things, let's not get it twisted, those things are medical things, those are body related things. It's not just the woman just being a woman. It's biological and it's physiological what's happening when you have that mental fog, and then other things actually attach to that, because then once you have that and you have stress and you have lots going on, then the distractibility, the
Mhm.
mental fog actually can get worse if you're not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Poor sleep is huge on that, because that
Mhm.
alone can be the cause of mental fog. Now
Mhm.
usually poor sleep has other issues leading into that. So you can see this would be
Yeah.
multiple octopi. They're called octopi, right? Right, when they're plural octopus. So octopi, we don't want to say it the other way because that's not correct, first of all. But it has many arms attached to it from mental fog. So let's at least do that and demystify the fact that it's not just because a woman is going through the change and that
Right.
that's just how they are, just like many years ago. And even now, I mean, women are definitely treated, their complaints are treated differently in the medical community than men's complaints. And so we still are seen as hysterical, or it's in our head. And actually, it is in our head, but not the way that you mean it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in our head because your brain controls everything. And if things are out of whack and out of balance, then your brain does not control things the way that it needs to.
Right. Right. Right.
Right?
Ain't that something? So we're
It
not
is
making
something.
it up. We're not making it up.
No, it really isn't. And it feels like that to us sometimes because we do feel really off. Sometimes you can feel like,
Yes,
what
like
is
I
wrong with me?
sometimes even I think to myself, like, am I slow? Like, what's happening? Like, because slow processing, that's a form of mental fog.
Mhm.
Just walking into a room, like, why did I come in here? Like, that's a sign of mental fog. It's so many things that happen to us on a day-to-day basis, and we just put it off as, oh, that's normal. That's how it's supposed to be right now. But it's really not. You're really not supposed to have that. You know, it is something in your neural pathways that probably is a little off. And again, not sleeping makes it worse because you know how you wake up tired, but you think you slept, but really you didn't sleep for real. You just didn't get a good quality of sleep, and
Right.
that just makes things so much worse in your thought process and your cognitive function. So yeah.
Absolutely. So it's so mental fog, yeah, it's a lay term. It is. It's not a medical diagnosis, but it is a group of or a cluster of cognitive symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
But symptoms are what make us miserable.
Yeah.
And that's how things show up is in symptoms. And so we need to pay attention to that because whatever name you put to it, if you're not thinking properly, you can't remember what you need to do, you can't complete tasks,
Yeah.
you know, you're speaking and you don't feel like you're speaking like an adult
Right.
because you're trying to find your words, other forgetfulness. And again, with that, things become compounding. Remember, the body is everything's linked together.
Yeah.
So you have that, and you have distractibility, and you have lots of things to do, and you have um, no sleep, and you have out of balance hormones, and you're not eating well. You don't get enough help to do what you need to do. Like all of those things come together, and
Mm-hmm.
yes, that can make mental fog seem like something way out there in the stratosphere. And I'll tell you,
Mm-hmm.
I had I was a pediatrician for 20 years, and I say was, I never stopped being a pediatrician. I don't even know why I
Right.
make that statement, but anyway, I'm always a pediatrician at heart because I wanted to be a pediatrician since I was 8 years old. But I trained residents and medical students, and I can remember the residents being very hard on the moms that just had babies. We had brand new babies that would get ill, and then we had to do workups on them to make sure they didn't have a serious infection. These
Mm-hmm.
moms were worn out. And I remember one mom in particular, I can even still right now see the room right now, remember the resident, remember the mom, and they were like, she's crazy.
Mm.
She's crazy. And I said, I went to talk to the mom, and she did seem off. But guess what? She had not slept since the baby was born, and the baby was like 3 weeks old.
Oh
She
wow.
had not really slept. So
Oh yeah.
we got her some sleep, took responsibility of the baby for one night, and the mom was a completely different person. But I guarantee you, she had mental fog. She probably had a very severe case of mental fog just because she hadn't gotten enough rest and probably wasn't nourishing herself either. So we have to be careful definitely about criticizing what we don't know, what we don't understand, And when somebody has something like that going on, mental fog, and then other things are added to it, we have no idea what shoes that woman is walking through. And it happens to men too. So if you got a lot on your plate, you know.
Right. And then as women, which this could be another live, but we always just have to keep going, right? Because we have to get all the things done, right? We ain't got time for that. We don't have time to touch on that today. But
no, that is
but that's
like a
how,
whole week.
Yeah, that's literally.
So
and that's probably what happened to her. Like, she's got to take care of this baby. She got to take care of the house. She might be working. I don't know the situation, but as women, we always feel compelled to just keep going, like, oh, I'll be better tomorrow, or I'll get some rest tonight, but you never get the rest, and then it builds up over time, and luckily she just kind of looked a little crazy to you guys and not have totally flipped out. Like, people can change mental states and hurt themselves or the baby or whatever the case may be. So luckily you guys were able to step in and see the change. Yes. Regardless if y'all knew what the change was or not, to kind of help out. But she just needed some rest, and sometimes we do so much to our body that our nervous system just doesn't feel safe anymore. And that's where the mental fog comes from. It's probably telling us, okay, you need to slow down. Okay, go rest over there.
Right.
And we got to pay more attention to that.
Right. And that's actually a form of like fight or flight, right? Because so you're in your fight mode because you're fighting to get everything done still, or take care of this human being now that you have created.
Right, for sure.
But certainly, I think that there's a disconnect. Again, everything is connected. So our hormones, estrogen actually regulates, it has a role in the brain. So men, you have estrogen too. So just let me let you know, yes, we both have each other's hormones. We just have different amounts that make us what we are, male and female. Okay. So let's put that out there. We all have it. Okay. And so estrogen regulates your neurotransmitters. That's how your nerves get the signals to each other, is neurotransmitters. Are you kidding me?
I know that.
So now your estrogen is off. And then what happens to your neurotransmitters? Right.
Yes.
Your mood, the men will definitely speak to the mood. Yes, but this is real. This is biochemical. This is physiologic. So this happens. This is for real. We're not kidding. My husband knew that I was pregnant because I couldn't remember a darn thing. And I have a great memory. So when I started like fumbling around for where something was or whatever, what something's up with her. So memory pathways, your memory, there you are. Like, where are my keys? Where's this? Where's my wallet? Where's my credit card? It's not, and especially if it's happening, those things get closer together as it continues to happen, and those moments get closer together. And then other people start to notice, you start to then say, hey, something's going on. But sometimes, again, other people are making you feel like, it's just supposed to happen. Why does it happen so it happens during pregnancy? Yeah, it happens during perimenopause, but is there a way to support you so it's not so significant and so severe, right? So brain energy metabolism and also sleep cycles. So estrogen is responsible for all of that. So let me tell you though, by the time I was showing and I got over that initial thing, I slept. My husband is the one that had the insomnia. I didn't have insomnia when I was pregnant. I slept. I took a nap at 5 p.m. after work, and then I still went to bed at 10 p.m. and slept through the night. The baby was moving. My husband was awake, and he said, how do you sleep with the baby moving? I said, I don't know, but I was fast asleep.
Wow. And I was just the opposite.
Exactly. And that's actually a lot of women actually suffer insomnia during pregnancy. And then that's another, insomnia is also very common during perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. So this is real, but this is not the only thing, right? So you can have other issues other than menopause. So, and that's the thing. I think that, and that's where women won't talk about that they're in menopause or perimenopause, because society is like, oh, well, she's just going through the change. And you kind of get blown off. And then you don't want to talk about it, because then is anybody even listening to you?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
even sometimes, unfortunately, the doctors are not listening either. So if your doctor's not listening to you, let me just give you a tip. Go ahead and pick another doctor. Okay. It's okay.
That's for free.
Yeah, that one's for free. Please pick another doctor. If your doctor's not listening and this is like a chronic issue, please, no, seriously, I'm serious. You pick another doctor, not because you just don't get what you want and the doctor didn't tell you, they gave you news that you need to hear and you didn't want to hear it. That's not what I'm saying. But if you have a doctor that is not listening to you, not paying attention to your complaints, because that's how we make the diagnosis. That's how we come up with what's going on, is we actually listen to the story.
Right.
So so you have issues with sleep, or at least you did. You don't have sleep issues anymore.
Yeah. Oh no, actually,
and I roomed with you, and you don't have any sleep.
I don't have any sleep issues. I had sleep issues when I was pregnant with both pregnancies. As soon as them babies was out, that was over with. Like I could go back to sleep like normal. I sleep very well. Let's just change that. I go to sleep well. Because it's a difference.
Yes.
I go to sleep well. I don't have a problem if the lights are on, if it's loud, if I'm ready to go to sleep, I'm going to go to sleep. Sometimes I can't even stop it. If I lay my head on the pillow, it's over with, right? So, but I used to have a problem staying asleep. So I don't have a problem going to sleep. I have a problem staying asleep. So I'm up and down a lot. So in the morning, I think I've slept. I think I've got rest, but I haven't, because I was up and down all night long, and it's not just using the quick bathroom and going back to sleep. Like I could be up, give me something to drink out the refrigerator, watch a show on TV. Like I just be up, and then I might fall back to sleep once I say, okay, Tam, let's just go to sleep now.
And then it's time to get up a couple hours later.
Then it's time to get up a couple hours later. So that's not good sleep. And that probably is attesting to the mental fog that I was having.
Yes.
So
yes, absolutely. Sure. And that affects memory, that affects attention, that affects emotional. Who's regulating their emotion when you're just trying to stay awake and keep moving? You got to go to a job or whatever. You can't just go take a nap. Although other countries do. In the middle of the day, they go take a nap. The siesta. Need to go live there in Spain and take a siesta every day. But, and then executive function, like that's higher functioning of your brain that is affected by poor sleep. And let me tell you something else. If you think that you're picking up weight that you're not supposed to, you check your sleep, because your body gets the signal, because it's trying to satisfy itself, it's trying to get itself back in balance, and it's looking for everything. And I guarantee you, when you didn't get enough sleep, yes, it's going to make you go eat more, and it won't be of the good stuff. Yeah. It's just like satisfy me. It's like the hungry monster, and you don't understand it, because you may not even be hungry, but your body is telling you that you're hungry because it's actually starved for something else. It's actually called rest. Right, rest. And if you don't get good sleep, your cortisol levels can't go down like they're supposed to, right? And that's very important. Your cortisol levels are up, you have a very hard time losing that weight. Or just a hard time with it coming off, So rest and sleep is so important. You're just storing that fat. Yes. That's what cortisol does. It stores fat. So when it doesn't function how it's supposed to. And it can make some other things wacky too. So you need sleep for things to properly function. So definitely for your brain to function properly. Something else, a lot of women go around, they talk about it from the time they're a teenager till they could be 102, but they say that they're anemic. If they heard that they were anemic once, they say they're anemic almost their entire life. And that's not necessarily true. It actually is something that can be fixed. It can get better. But it is a cause of mental fog because iron deficiency then leads to your blood's not rich enough to take the oxygen everywhere. So guess what? Your body's not getting the oxygen to your brain, to your lungs.
That is so interesting. You're
Ah.
teaching me today. That is that's
So
interesting.
when people say
Yeah,
that
they
they're
say I'm
tired,
anemic. I haven't been checked for it really lately, but they did say that when I was younger, in my teenager, young 20 age, because my hands are always so cold or my feet are always so cold. And they tried to do them iron periods, Dr. Branwell. I can't take those. I cannot. I say, well, what foods can I eat?
I
Because
know,
I
right?
do want the iron because I don't want to be cold all the time.
Right.
But I cannot take them black pills. I cannot. I cannot. And they're not big, they're small, but to me they were like really nasty, right?
Yeah. The smell is
And
not inviting
the
either.
smell is
Like,
not inviting. I used
yeah.
to burp it up. Like it was just not a good look for me. And then psychologically, I couldn't imagine taking this black pills. Like it just did something to me. The color of it. I said,
Oh, mentally,
yeah, yeah.
your
I
brain is
can't
like,
get past this. Like I don't know what this is for real. But so that makes so much sense
That's interesting.
there.
And so that's overlooked too because it's talked about so much. And like we say, like through generations and everything, you hear all the women, all the girls, and the girls hear their moms say it and their aunts talking about it and what have you. So then you automatically think that that's how it's supposed to be. I've actually seen people almost like they're be unalive because they treated it as if it was okay, and they ended up with like hemoglobins that were in the low single digits. Like I'm talking like a
Oh man.
4.
Oh wow.
How do you're supposed to be like an 11 or
Yeah.
12, ladies,
Right.
or
How they
13
been
even.
functioning.
A 4 is really super low. That means it's stressing your heart. Your heart could actually fail from anemia. So don't overlook if you have fatigue, if you know that you've had heavy menstrual cycles, if you know you have a lot of headaches, especially if you have your cycle or it's just increasing and this fatigue is increasing, that is a simple blood test
Mm-hmm.
to check to see if you can fix it. And for people like Dr. Dunn, they have ways of infusing you with what you need if your iron is that
They say we're the
low.
worst patients, right?
And a 4 unfortunately requires blood transfusion. That
Oh wow.
giving you iron is not going to, you actually
Yeah.
need the two things together, so that you can replenish your stores of iron and then also replenish the blood volume, because the blood volume is depleted too because you have nothing to create normal or healthy red blood cells.
Mm-hmm.
And red blood cells also have a normal death cycle, so they last 90 to 120 days. So guess what? If you're not replenishing and you got dying cells, that's
Mm-hmm.
what gets you down to that 4. So if you've got, but it's not just menstrual bleeding. If people have anything with their gut, if you see black stools or you're commonly seeing like blood in your stool, that means that you're actually losing blood from something. You could have an ulcer, you could have, it could just, not just, but it could be a hemorrhoid, so maybe it's lower, but some hemorrhoids can actually be significant. So ladies, don't, and those are things that we commonly get, unfortunately, after childbirth, after, if you've had trouble constipation, different issues. So remember, it didn't seem like it was connected, right? And
It
then now
didn't.
I've connected the bottom to the top right
Right.
here. So poor concentration and irritability. Again, if your body is not getting the nourishment that it, believe me, the last thing that your brain wants to try to control is your emotion. So if that's something that happens, just be aware. So yeah. So that's something else that can cause mental fog. And we could go on and on. I'm going to touch on one last one because this is very common in women, is thyroid dysfunction,
Mm.
right? And
That's very common.
people
Very
talk to me
common.
about thyroid. If I see another person that tells me about thyroid, but seriously, it's something that's really, really important. Your thyroid hormone is extremely important. Like you
Mm-hmm.
need that.
Yeah.
Um, And so, yeah, you can have some women notice that they lose hair, but slow thinking can actually be associated. Definitely fatigue. Again, weight gain. Unfortunately, it's leaned into about weight gain a little bit more than it should be because we have other factors that are more common why you're
Mhm.
gaining weight than the thyroid. But still, it's something that should be investigated, especially if it seems abnormal, like it's happening super fast. Um, it seems abnormally placed, like this, like you feel weird,
Mhm.
strange. Yeah. Depression is associated with thyroid. And of course, mental fog. You don't even want to think about anything. You don't want
Right.
to do anything, no energy,
Right.
and memory issues. So, that again, a simple blood test. And this one, I'm going to give you this for free. This is educational. I'm not diagnosing anybody. If you have the symptoms of low thyroid and you go get tested and your doctor says it's normal, find out just how normal.
Mm.
Because if you're symptomatic, again, we're at the symptoms, this is what matters. If you're at the symptoms and you're not functioning and you have poor memory and you got fatigue and weight gain and depression and you're at a low normal,
Low.
actually, you should be treated as if you are low.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I definitely gave you for free.
For sure.
Right. But that's really, really important because that's how, oh, well, your test is normal. Well, we're looking at people, we're looking at a woman, we're looking at the whole person and not just a blood test. So we got to put the two together. And that's really where doctoring skill comes together. We need to
Correct.
listen
Because that's
visually.
again coming to listening. Like
Yes.
we see
Yeah.
your numbers, but what are you feeling,
Exactly.
right? And your numbers, even though this is a range, it's a range because every body is different, right? So
Yes.
we've got to go off of your body. So if I'm listening to you, like, yes, you're in the normal range, but you're kind of teetering on the low, and I'm hearing you say you have all these issues, let's go ahead and take care of it and let's see what happens from there. Yes. So
Yeah.
that's again coming from listening. And if you have a doctor that's not listening, then we should probably be looking for
Yeah, we
another.
should have some other type of discussion when that's happening. That's not, people should listen to people in the first place, but in very specifically, doctors listening. Yeah, that's actually supposed to be one of our superpowers. Okay,
Mm-hmm. For
so
sure.
um, and you can read about. So just so you know, we're not just winging it and just making this stuff up. JAMA Journal 2024, a review on hypothyroidism, which is low thyroid hormone. Okay. 2024, also an article in PubMed on insomnia in postmenopausal women. Okay, 2024. So those are recent. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not old stuff. Okay, so you have this substantiated not only just in the doctor's office, not only in your body, but there are trustworthy articles in reputable medical journals that support what's happening with you. So
Mm-hmm.
please don't ignore the symptoms. Get checked out. Please go for your preventative visits. Okay. Ladies, please go and go when you're well sometimes. It's really unfair to the doctor for you to show up sick all the time. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know what you look like well. So they have nothing to compare it to. So now they're comparing your sick to your sick, and that's really, really hard.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
It's really hard, and it's not good for you because then, well, maybe people have been sick, and we know this now with what we've been doing, the type of work that we do,
Mm-hmm.
is that people can be sick for a long time and they get so used to it that they think it's normal, and they
Yeah.
have other relatives that are like that too, especially women, other women, like I said, the aunts, the grandmothers, the great grands, the mom, everybody's saying the same thing, so you think it's
No,
normal.
it's justifiable.
Right. Like
And
people going without
it's
having a bowel movement for like a week or 2 weeks. That's
yeah,
not normal. But
not
they
normal.
have other relatives that the same thing has happened. So they think that it's normal. So please go to your preventative visit so we know what you look like well, or at least relatively well. And you can get some test some baseline tests and see where you are. And it doesn't mean that you have to go on medicine. So before we go, and we're going to see you again, but before we go, we want to tell you how we've been handling some of these very issues and helping people handle these issues without adding medication. So without increasing your medication burden, so without increasing side effect. Actually, what we're doing has no ingredients, zero. And I know as soon as I say that, guess what? You're going to put in the comments what's in it. And I'm going to say, and Dr. Dunn's going to say, there are no ingredients.
Nothing in it.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
So we have 15 FDA registered class 1 medical devices that help with 90% of what you show up to the doctor for. Now, if you have a hemoglobin of 4 and you're anemic, no. But if it's sleep, insomnia, if it's even some hormone imbalance, if you've got perimenopause, you're having trouble with those symptoms, we have the rocket patch. And actually the rocket patch is for men's sexual health. However, we have seen testimonials that it's helping women too. So although it's not noted right now, and we'll have research on that, but we do have 16 articles, medical articles, in reputable journals, 6 of them in PubMed. So a lot of people are very familiar with PubMed. So I always like to say PubMed. So 6 of them in there. And so we help with sleep, sexual health, burning calories, so increasing your metabolism. Ladies, you come to me all the time asking me, how can I increase my metabolism? It's going so slow. And yes, that is something that happens during perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And that's the group of women that I actually usually take care of. So yeah, so I hear that a lot. So we do have something, and literally it's a patch. You stick it on. Just peel and stick it. It's amazing.
It's amazing. And the one that we have for mental clarity, and that helps on 5 different cognitive networks of our brain, that has totally, completely changed my life. Okay. So that patch, when we're talking about mental fog, yes, I am not experiencing it as bad as it was. It's definitely, I think it's going to get even better. Like it gets better every day. Like I'm remembering my thoughts. I'm remembering why I'm doing things. I'm getting projects done because I'm focused and I have a clear mind, a clear head. So that one has really, really, really helped me. And with that, with the rocket to help with the other menopausal symptoms, as far as sleep or hot flashes or all these things, that is already contributing to the mental fog. So while all of it is getting better, I'm just as clear as can be. I am just having a good old time every day.
So is that the Zen patch that you're talking about?
Zen patch, yes. Zen patch, yes. It's amazing. And Zen and focus on those really tough days where I know I got a lot to get done. The Zen and focus together does so much. But the Zen alone, it just helps with everything. So I just wear that every day, no matter what now, with my Defend for my immunity and my allergies. That's coming up. It's March, so all that is starting to come up with the rain. So yeah, I'm just patched up every day.
Awesome. So am I.
With no drugs, no ingredients.
Yes. So the Defend patch, yes, it helps with allergies. Do not go to sleep on that. Even if you have allergies to an animal or something, we're actually hearing testimonials, even from our business partner, Mrs. Moore. She actually has a dog. She's allergic to dogs, and she's actually wearing her Defend patch. She wears 2 Defend patches, and she can actually be around the dog. The dog is around her whenever we see her, and we don't see her sneezing or sniffling or anything or itching. So, and I actually heard that from another person, a customer of mine, that he actually put the Defend patch on his mom. His mom is allergic, and he's a dog sitter. So he needed to get the patches on his mom, and his mom actually was able to be around his pets. So that's really, really cool. One that I want to talk about, because mental fog can get worsened or even be initiated with severe stress. And so I love the peace patch. I wear that every day. That's my favorite. It's for stress and anxiety, but you do not have to have a diagnosis of that. We're not diagnosing anyone, we're not treating anyone. This is for augmenting your wellness. These patches, these super patches, and they are medical devices, like I said, FDA registered. And so that patch, I am a cool cucumber on the outside, but let me tell you, I know on the inside, I'm doing like the duck underneath the water when stuff is going on. And now I feel like my inside matches my outside, which is a really cool thing because, again, to thinking, to clear thought, to being able to get a lot done and all of that, that's pretty crucial. And then I'll just talk about our foundational patch, which is Liberty, and that's for balance and stability. Yes, in your body, as standing and walking, but also homeostasis or balance of your autonomic nervous system, which is your involuntary nervous system, controlling every system that you have. So your heart, your blood pressure, your gut, your hormones. People don't think that the nerves control the hormones, but how do the organs secrete the hormones? Guess what? It's from the nerves. It's from the signal in your brain. So we're going to come back and talk to you more about more women's issues. We thought that this mental fog was really, really important because I hear people actually mentioning it even more and more now. So it's not just related to the pandemic, folks. It is something that is ingrained in our society, and definitely even more so on women now because we were already dealing with it because of what changes our bodies go through, but also because of what goes on in our society and all the load that we carry. So any final things for now?
Well, all I can say is just be self-aware of what's going on with your body and don't let, well, you yourself, but also don't let others just play it off as, oh, this is normal. You're supposed to go through this because of this. And that's not true. Like, yes, we're getting older, but we don't have to feel the symptoms of us getting older, right? So let us help you and get you something that can help work with your nervous system to help your body function and work how it's supposed to. We don't need to mask your symptoms. We can actually help correct and repair them. And also, our bodies know what to do already, right? And I just feel like a lot of the medicines, because we're stacked on so many, 5 to 10 medicines at one time, the body is confused. It doesn't know what to do at that point.
Yes.
So we have something that can help you support the nervous system the right way so that your body starts functioning and flourishing the way it's supposed to. And then we just start to feel good after that. So allow us to help you in that, and you're going to be good.
Yes. So reach out to us in the comments, whoever's page you see this on. Go ahead and reach out to us and just let us know. We'll help you figure out which patches you can use for whatever symptoms you have going on. And no, we are not diagnosing you and won't do anything about your diagnosis, but we can help you with your symptoms. And so we're so happy to do that. I feel so much like a doctor being able to do that without giving any medicine. So no, we're not prescribing anything, and you don't need a prescription for this. All right. So thank you. Happy Women's Health. Please go get checked out, get your regular physicals, and we'll see you soon. I am Dr. Nicole Bramwell, and you are?
I'm Dr. Tamara Dunn. See you guys later.